Hello everybody, welcome back to Pokemon Chat-eau. Today's topic is going to be about the Pokemon from Generation 1. Now, before we start, I actually want to tell a quick story about a good friend of mine, Cam, called me something the other day that just made me want to punch him. It was so clever. And it might be a new alias, who knows. He called me JoltEelan. Like, God, it's so... Like I said before, my name is Elon, and just that pun just kills me. So if you want to call me JoltEelan, go right ahead. Screw you, Cam, for calling me that, and wow. Anyways, Pokemon's number 1 through 51, the original generation, the most classic of classics. Because it's so classic, nothing can ever top Generation 1. That's when they were the most original. That's when they had the freshest ideas. Pokemon Generation 1 has the best Pokemon. Alright, let me take off these nostalgia glasses and just say Pokemon Generation 1 had a lot of great Pokemon. Was it the best generation? It's kind of hard to tell just looking at the Pokemon themselves. But there are definitely a lot of great and classic Pokemon that came from that generation, obviously. Of course, we have the starters, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, which are super iconic. And we even have the mascot of the entire franchise, Pikachu, who's still the damn mascot. And his evolution, Raichu, is just as adorable. Let's not forget some of the other ones. The whole Gengar lineup, Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar, the original Ghost Trio, and even to this day, they're still awesome. We got other Pokemon like Arcanine, we got Machamp for just pretty much being Pokemon's Goro, or Goro, however you want to pronounce that. There's Alakazam, there's Dragonite, just so many classics out there. But then we got some of the stinkers like Voltorb and Electrode. Like, come on guys, that's not very creative. It's literally just a Pokeball, and then it flips upside down when it evolves. Let's not forget Grimer and Muck, who are literally just blobs of something. I'm not exactly sure what Grimer is made out of, and quite frankly, I don't want to find out. We saw the classic legendary bird trio, Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos. And we got possibly the most iconic legendary to this date, even now, is Mewtwo and Mew. Back in the day when they only had so many legendaries. Nowadays, the games have got like 7 or 8 new legendary Pokemon. Over here, it was just Mewtwo and Mew. And that's really all you needed, despite Mew being weird to get. You have to like glitch your way to get it, but still awesome. Let's not forget everyone's favorite fish, Magikarp. That useless little flopping fish goes from being pathetic in pretty much every way to freaking Gyarados, man. Gyarados is still awesome to this day as well. Honestly, as a whole, Generation 1 still holds up pretty well. There's obviously some stinkers out there, like I mentioned, but the badass ones clearly outweigh the bad ones. And even though, like, I can't hate Muck for being just like a pile of sludge. I like Muck. He's a little lame, like I said, but he's still awesome. Like, he's actually a pretty decent Pokemon too. And once again, I ran a poll this time for which starters everyone picked from the first generation. On Twitter, I got 12 votes, with Bulbasaur taking 50%, Charmander with 42%, and Squirtle with 8%. Once again, it's a lot different than the Amino one, but then again, Amino gets a lot more votes. Amino got 55 votes, this time with Bulbasaur at 25.5%, Charmander with 45.5%, and Squirtle with 29.1%. Once again, it's like, I didn't expect Charmander to win as much as he did. It's kind of expecting Charmander and Squirtle to be the ones that were neck and neck. It's actually Squirtle and Bulbasaur with Charmander way out in the front, which is... I didn't expect anything less. I thought Charmander was going to take it regardless, but not by that big of a margin. As for my favorite, It's really hard to choose between Squirtle and Charmander, but I like Charmander's line a little bit more. I think Charmander's just a great Pokemon and evolves into a Charizard, which is an amazing Pokemon still. No hard feelings on Bulbasaur. I do like Bulbasaur, just not on the same level as the other two. Nothing wrong with Bulbasaur. Hell, and picking Bulbasaur is actually the best way to start out the Generation 1 games, because it's super effective against Brock and Misty and resistant to Lieutenant Surge, and that's a great way to start the game off. Let's get into what other people had to say about the Generation 1 Pokemon. Once again, we have Lightning Runner from Discord, and he says, I think since the original 151 is what everyone is familiar with, people naturally consider that the best generation of Pokemon. Which, yeah, I can see that. The nostalgia can really, just make you choose something over anything else just because you happen to know it longer. It's not necessarily the right thing, but, everyone has their own opinions regardless, and if nostalgia is one of the main reasons that you love Generation 1 so much, then who am I to take that away from you? Lightning Runner also said, I like the legendary birds. Yeah, Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos. I don't know why I keep mixing that up. It's Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Uno, Dos, Tre. Duh. Also, back on Discord, General Curlia, he went by Commander Butterfly last time, says, in my opinion, Arcanine is still my favorite from 151. Arcanine is awesome, man, and back in the early days, I remember in the anime they depicted Arcanine as one of the legendary Pokemon. He was alongside Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres whenever Ash went to the first Pokemon Center, which is kind of interesting, but we never really got anywhere from that. He's like a legendary beast Pokemon? It's probably somewhere in the Pokedex. It's kind of odd, but Arcanine is pretty awesome, so there's that for you. Next up, we have the Amino people. This guy, Master X, has quite a bit to say. He says, Alakazam, Charizard, Venusaur, Gengar, Arcanine, Dragonite, and Kangaskhan are my favorites of that gen because they have great designs and are great in battle. The ones I dislike are Electrode, Seal, and Mach, only because I don't like how basic their designs are. All the rest of the Mons are cool though. It's not my favorite gen of Pokemon, but still great. Also, I believe they still hold up today. X and Y did a great job reintroducing them, and I still see many people use them in battle, either competitively or casually. Yes sir, with X and Y they had Mega Evolutions, and a lot of those Mega Evolution Pokemon are definitely used today, especially Mega Kangaskhan. It's just stupid broken. We got Mega Alakazam, Mega Charizard, X and Y, Mega Venusaur, Mega Blastoise. It's really cool that they did that for a lot of Gen 1, and they also did it for, every new form of Alola Pokemon. All the new Alola forms are Kanto Pokemon. So they wanted to spice things up and bring back people who played the original game into Sun and Moon, which is cool, and I kind of wish they did it with other generations, but I'm fine with what they did so far. Who knows, we might get more Alola Pokemon. But honestly, probably not, since Ultra Sun and Moon we'll see. I like this duo. Also, these next three are on Amino as well. Swizzy says, all of them are either okay or great. And I could see some people disagreeing, like Foggy over here, who says they're either really good or really bad. No in between, in all caps. So that's just funny. I don't know if he did that to be a troll to Swizzy, but regardless, that's actually pretty funny. Last but not least, we got Kibao? Forgive me if I mispronounced that. He says, I love them all. In some of the generations, there's always that Pokemon I dislike or I hate, but not in Gen 1. I still don't know why, though. I'm not a Gen 1er, I swear. I also have the kind of nostalgia about everything in Gen 1, but I wasn't even born when it came out. It's also, weird to think about how you can be nostalgic over something you never really played. And I can understand some people doing that. You can play an old Atari game or, some of the old NES games, and you could feel nostalgic despite not being born in that generation. It's just how you viewpoint it. Everyone can see nostalgia differently, and it just really depends on how you think about it. I think that's a good place to stop. We can always come back to Gen 1 Pokemon, but there's a lot more topics to talk about. And overall, yeah, Generation 1 still holds up pretty well. It's not my favorite. Well, honestly, I don't know what my favorite is. I'll have to think about that. But it's definitely up there. But for the next episode, we're going to be talking about Pokemon, the first movie. Do you remember that movie? Did you ever see that movie when you were a kid or in theaters? What do you think of it? Does it hold up still, or is it just laughable? Well, regardless, we'll talk about the movie itself and even the little special that comes before it. And we'll review it, think about it, talk about it, whatever. And yeah, that's till next time. Pokemon the first movie. If you want to have your opinions on the podcast, leave your comments below. You can tweet at me at Pokemon Chat-eau. You can write on the Amino. Join the Discord. We can talk about it there. All the links are going to be in the description below. Until next time, I'm JoltEelan. Screw you, Cam. And we'll see you for the next episode. Thank you very much, and have a good day.